Alright, what's going on, dudes, and welcome back to another video. So, for the last year or so, I've been really thinking about doing this good and evil tier list. Now, I'll be honest, when I made the Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum tier list, I was a bigger fan of Tally Hall. I wouldn't say it was my life, but it really was a big part of YouTube. You know, the ruler of everything videos were really what gave my channel all these subscribers. At the end of the day, it's a new year now. It's been 11 months since that video, and I've really fallen as a Tally Hall fan. I have not really been paying attention to any of it, and granted, there's not a lot to pay attention to because they're not really a band anymore. And, for the most part, I've fallen off. It's almost at a point where I listen to these songs and I'm like, oh yeah, I used to like this stuff. Now, I know for a fact that on YouTube there's been a significant amount of Tally Hall discourse, and, people are allowed to have their opinions. That's completely fine. But I think I should also share some of my opinions because I feel like this is a unique experience. I used to like this band. I'm a bigger MMMM fan than I am a Good and Evil fan, but, I figured I've never really gotten to know this album, so why don't I listen to some of the songs on the side, and as I, re-listen and re-immerse myself, I will rank each song based on where I think it's going to rank. So, once again, I am not a music expert. I am the farthest thing from music expert. I've not taken a class in so long. I wouldn't say I'm tone deaf, but I'm pretty darn illiterate when it comes to, notes, and rhythm, and all that stuff, so I'm the least capable person, but hey, maybe that's a good thing, as someone who is very generic with my music tastes. Maybe that opinion will be interesting. So, we'll start off with the very first song. I already listened to this, so there won't be a cut, but Never Meant to Know. I think it is a great opener. I think it really sets the tone that this album is different from MMMM. Now, granted, this album was made, I believe, 6 years after the first one? Maybe longer? I'm pretty sure it's 6 years. So, it's different now. The Fablu style is a bit more nuanced. In a way, it kind of loses the identity when you lose that genre roulette randomness. And, some people may like that, some people may not. I personally, as I said, I'm a bigger MMMM fan, but I think Never Meant to Know is a great way to really bring those themes together. Like, hey guys, this is going to be different from the previous one. It's still random, but it's not anywhere near as random. I'm going to say that because it is such a good opener, and I think, it also rivals Good Day, as they're both openers. I think that both of them really bring together what this album is, what each of their albums are, rather, and I think Never Meant to Know, just for that, goes S tier. I think, I think we can agree that this song it's pretty great. It's pretty darn great. So, next up is And. Alright, I think And is probably one of the best second songs. What I mean by that, and that actually means multiple things now that I think about it, is that not only is it great, way to continue the opener, it's also just, in my opinion, and this might change, but as of, recalling my memories, I'm pretty sure this is my second favorite song. I think And does a really great job at having this really catchy rhythm that it's sort of unforgettable, and it has the gimmick of, each line has an and thing. I think it really ties the themes of good and evil, because obviously good and evil, which is really what the album wants you to know. And the second thing is that I think if you were like, ooh, Never Meant to Know is so different from MMMM, I don't think it's going to be the same experience. You're right, it won't be the same experience. But for the most part, I will say that the sudden change to the rap, what I would call the rap section, is it rap? Maybe I'll get shamed for that. I don't know if that's rap or not. During the latter half, the sudden genre shift, and Tally Hall, they're really the masters of the. I believe it's called the bridge. They're pretty much masters of the bridge, where they're really good at just shifting one song to another. It sounds like it's 2 or 3 different songs mashed together, but it's one song. And the fact that it's so cohesive really makes the experience magical. I really love it when they change the bridge. That's something you should always look out for whenever you listen to Tally Hall songs. So I think that, as far as I'm concerned, And is the second best song on the album. Again, remember, I am re-listening to this for the first time in quite a while, so maybe my opinions will change. I think S tier. I hate to say it, but I think that another S tier song, it's gonna be a while till we get another S tier song, because I don't remember, man. So yeah, we'll see. Alright, dude, Rob is the master of heterophonic tunes of How Love Bites. Honestly, I don't know if it's as good as Love Apathy or even Greener, but I will say this is pretty darn good. I think when you're looking at these songs, you're kind of looking for different things. Those two songs are a bit more, Lost Love, sort of melancholy. This one even though it is fairly sad, I'd say that it's a bit more upbeat. You know, it really gets you in a good mood, and it really does make you think this guy's really good at writing love songs. I think probably some of the biggest issues I feel is that when you go to Tally Hall, you want like really, you know, assortments of genres, and I feel like love songs are probably fairly basic when it comes to that. However, I feel like these love songs are whimsical enough to really stand out on their own. I know I just said that it's gonna be hard for an S tier song, but this comes really close. I think Never Meant to Know and are a little better. Oh man, I'm having a hard time. Would I put this S tier? Dude, something I will say about Tally Hall is that like they always have like the perfect trifecta of like the first 3 songs are always bangers. I'm having a really hard time. I'm gonna have to put this in. I'm gonna have to put this in S. I know I just said it's gonna be hard, but You and Me, I forgot. That song is great. It also goes back to the and thing. You and me. You know, dude, I don't know, man. This is gonna be a hard tier list. Hopefully, I don't say that every single song. Yeah, no, You and Me, S tier. 3 songs in S tier right off the bat. It's a great album. Not as good as MMM, but man, my opinion has changed since last year. Maybe I've grown to age. I've aged to really appreciate the nuances. I don't know. Anyway, next song. Dude, this song, oh my gosh, I am surprised. This song rocks. This song is awesome. I forgot how good Cannibal is. I feel like it's fairly underrated in the grand scheme of things. And I know in the last tier list, and I recapped myself, I said that Taken for a Ride is sort of like where the album like doesn't flop, but it definitely is like, after these 3 great songs, it kind of, it's definitely like, you know, compared to the others being like a 10 out of 10, it goes to 9 out of 10. This one keeps the hype up, man. 4 songs in a row, and it's going really strong. So, oh my gosh, I completely forgot this song. I feel like it is underrated. I wouldn't say it's as good as And Never Meant to Know You and Me, but it's still 10 out of 10. I think it is awesome. I think I'm gonna call it a bridge. I don't know what, if that's the wrong term. I'm gonna get so shit on for it. But it is awesome. I think the theme of the song about, you know, you're the willing victim of a cannibal is really funky. I get what it means. I know it's not actually about a cannibal, but they obviously have this really whimsical sort of flavoring to it. But man, 4 songs in a row that are what I would consider S. I think that's great. Now I'm thinking about my memory, and I remember the first half, liking the first half more than the second half, so hopefully it doesn't falter. Like, I look at some of these names, I don't remember what they are, and I'm kind of nervous about it, but so far, going really well. My goodness. Oh my gosh. I love Cannibal. Dude, so underrated. I feel like it doesn't get as much love. Maybe I'm wrong, because I haven't been in the fandom in a while, but I feel like it doesn't get enough love. Please, give the song love. Next song. I feel bad, because I feel like this tier list is just gonna be, like, a lot of S's. I know I said this, I like MMM more, but I'm looking at this, I'm like, my god, all of these songs rock. Now, here's the thing that I feel like, it might be obvious, but I feel like, you know, because I know what the next, you know, few songs are. Is there, like, a medieval theme in this album? Is that what I missed? Like, it feels very, like, you know, knights at the round table, and they're talking about cannibals, and, you know, like, it's sort of medieval music, and they got the Sacred Beast, and they got the Scarecrow, and they got a lady. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't know. I like that it's kind of a concept that they're going with, and I know there's a decent streak of it. But man, oh man, Who You Are, very, very underrated. Maybe it's just me, but it felt a little shorter than it should be. I don't know. It felt. It's hard to say because I really did appreciate the music. Maybe I'm just, you know, Renaissance core or whatever. I just like that kind of stuff. Which I didn't know about myself. Now I do, I guess. But man, that was really good. I'm trying to think of other positives. Like, I know it's a little more than a love song. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be a love song. It could just be a song about a friend, maybe, that you really care about. But I don't know. I just like how it sounded. I think that, you know, and I don't know if you could really even put them in a bubble. But if you were to put You and Me up against Who You Are, I like Who You Are more. Now, as you can see by the tier list, it's going down. They're not really topping, you know, and is the only one that's out of order. It's the second song. It's my favorite so far. Who You Are is, I'd say it's a little worse than Cannibal, but it's definitely still S tier. My gosh, I'm excited because I know I like Sacred Beast, so we might very well just have 6 songs in a row that are S tier, and I think that's amazing. So next song, guys. What's wrong with me, man? Why? I came into this expecting, you know, to be a little more critical. But I listen to this and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I really did like the song. I think so far of the 6 songs, this might be the best bridge. I really did like the song. I think it's better than... I don't know if this is a hot take. I feel like this song doesn't get mentioned a whole lot, and this might even be a hot take. But I really did like it more than You and Me. I think I just like Renaissance, maybe. I like how it just had this medieval sort of feel. I love the bridge, as I said, favorite so far. I think it's obviously about relationships, and I think that's sort of a pattern. And maybe MMMM is just a little better at hiding it, that these are all mostly about love or caring about other people rather than just flimsy, you know, gimmicks. And maybe I just like that more. Maybe as I've grown up, maybe this stuff sort of connects with me more. I say grown up isn't a lot of time has passed. It's only really been 1 year. But yeah, no, Sacred Beast, I don't know, man. I can see this being something you play at like D&D, and that's just cool to me. 6 songs in a row. I know it's eventually gonna stop. The gravy train will eventually stop. I don't know when it will happen, but dude, 6 songs in a row, 10 out of 10s. It's insane. Next song. So I'm not gonna lie, I came into the song expecting to be meh by it, because I know that this song is significantly longer, and it's longer, and based off memory, I thought it repeated a lot more. And honestly, it made me realize that I was kind of looking for reasons to whine about it. Like, I was like, oh, they repeated that, you know, stanza, I guess? Repeated the stanza twice at the beginning, and then they had fly, 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 and then they had do you wanna die? And it just made me realize, when does the song get bad? It doesn't get bad. I don't know, I think the song is a bit longer. It's, all the songs have been about 3 minutes each. This one's almost 5 minutes in length, and I think initially, maybe when I was younger, and by younger I mean like 1 year younger, maybe I just don't have time for that. Maybe this is when I start to fall asleep. As I said, Taken for a Ride in the first album was really when I started to fall asleep. But now that I'm listening to all these in a row, it makes me realize what was wrong with me. Him for Scarecrow, I was really expecting it to be bad, and I just get bored of it, and maybe it'd go on for too long. But no, and I think what makes it cooler is that it's about the Scarecrow from Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, which is pretty cool. Or is it Majora's Mask? I don't remember. It's pretty cool. Like, I feel like it's cheap to give this one a 10 out of 10. I feel like at this point it's like, how many 10 out of 10s am I gonna give? I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10, dude. I don't care. It's my tier list. I get to do whatever I want. It's better than Who You Are. It's better than Cannibal. It's better than You and Me. I'm gonna put it here, just a little under Sacred Beast. I think Sacred Beast is just more jovial, I guess, and I guess I'm a little more biased towards jovial songs. My only complaint is it does go for a little too long, but I mean, you know, but that's fine. I was at that point I was looking for reasons to complain. I was nitpicking at that point. I really think the song is very good. I think it's very emotional, and man, 14 songs. The first 7 are all 10 out of 10s. I promise you, this is not like scripted or anything. I'm just now realizing that, like, I come into these albums looking for different things. MMMM might have some songs that are worse, but because I'm coming in for the randomness and the goofiness, I feel satisfied here. I'm not really looking for... I feel like the equilibrium is a lot more stable. Like, you know, the standard deviation is a lot closer than in MMM, where it's all over the place. But that doesn't matter. When you look at it in a vacuum, when you're not comparing them to each other, I think this one definitely has the stronger, you know, glue, right? When you look at Tally Hall, you want the genre roulette, and while this one does strip the identity of just the sheer amount of wackiness, it really does feel like a cohesive album. And I will say, 7 songs in a row, all bangers. So I know for a fact that A Lady is shorter. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it's gonna be an S tier, but man oh man, the first half, just like the song Scarecrow, really great first half. The second half, I'd say the second half of Scarecrow, I was expecting it to get worse, but it just never did. So maybe that's symbolic of what's gonna happen here. Okay, short, sweet, inoffensive. Might be the end of the whole medieval theme. I don't remember the trap that well. And maybe it's a transition. It's like, hey, that was the first half, time for the second half, maybe. It's a nice intermission. It's very sweet. It gets to the point. It says good and evil, which really ties in the theme. Maybe the first half is the good, maybe the second half is the evil. I don't know. It's okay. I think, yeah, as I said, I knew it wasn't going to be an S tier. I think the gravy train has come to an end here. Do I put it in A or B? I want to remind you that these are all relative to one another. Now, obviously, I can't say that with as much certainty as I did with MMMM, just because it's been a while since I've listened to these. Maybe one of these last 7 is really, really bad. I don't know. But a lady, I'm gonna give it a B. I don't think, in good conscience, I can give it an A. Like, it is good, but it's not great. And like, if I was listening to it all by itself without the rest of this album, it's probably meh. It's a great intermission, though. I won't deny that. There's not a whole lot to talk about, not just because it's short, but just because it's just inoffensive. So yeah, that's where I put a lady. B tier, the first B tier. Is that sexist? Might be a little sexist. I don't know. So next song. Okay, I just listened to a trap, and I think my first impression, not my first impression because it's not my first, but it makes me realize that maybe a lot of my criticisms for the album is that in the past was just I have a poor attention span. That's not the album's fault, that's my fault for having a poor attention span. I really do like this song. I think it is sort of spiritual successor to Scarecrow. There were similar sounds, and obviously there's only one song difference. Maybe a lady was there to separate it. Maybe it's an intermission because they knew that these two songs are fairly similar. They go well together, but they're a little too similar. Let's have one song to space them out. I think a trap, again, second half is where I feel like my attention wanes because, attention spans are bad. But no, I really like the song. I think that the ending with the electronic beeps is a little too artsy for my taste. But then again, so is some other bands. They try to be a little more artsy than they should. It lasted a little longer than I would have liked. Once again, I was set to wait until it gets bad, or okay, not even bad, but just less good. It started out great, and I feel like with the Scarecrow, it never really got bad. This one, it went from great to pretty good, right? If that makes sense. I feel like there was a significant, slope in the song where it was like it's not as great as it was. So I have a bit more issues with the second half of the song, but we'll say these issues are it goes from 9 out of 10 to 8.5 out of 10. It's not a big deal, dude. Don't worry about it. It's still a great song. I feel like this really set the tone for the second half of the album. Not really, but the trap is really hey, it's not over yet, guys. Come on, pay attention. Unfortunately, I don't think it did as great of a job as Never Meant to Know. So I'm gonna put an A for now. It went again, first half 9 out of 10, second half 8.5 out of 10. It is very marginal, still very good. I love it. I love it, but as you can see, gosh, the song is what 8.75 out of 10, and it's only the 8th ranked song on the album. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Next up, I think I know where this one's gonna go, but let's listen to it again. I think I'm a child. I think I'm a little biased towards the song because it's so energetic. It's so much fun. It bounces all over the place. It reminds me of a game of Splatoon. That's a criticism. I don't know why, but whenever I explain it, people who have not played Splatoon, they get it. I don't know why. Maybe I've seen a lot of AMVs of it. Maybe I've just seen so much bright enjoyment. But man, it is such a I don't know. It's such a playful song, I guess. I can see this being in a lot of cartoons. I can see this being in Phineas and Ferb, which is a very weird comment if you don't know my history on the channel. But dude, this song. Now, on one hand, I think it should have been the opener to the second half, but I kind of get it. You need a lady to be a intermission, and you need the trap to really segue from Scarecrow, right? So I get it why it wasn't, but this is really the wake-up song. Hey guys, come on, album's not done yet. Come on, guys. We're still not out of tricks. Turn the lights off. Pretty sure it's the only one in this album that got a music video. I really do love it. I think that Tally Hall, they looked at Turn the Lights Off based off of how much attention it got, and they're like, this is our second magnum opus. Next, Rule of Everything was magnum opus. Turn the Lights Off was like the magnum opus's like little brother, and he's only little brother by like a year. He's still basically big brother, right? They only separate by a year, but my goodness, for being, I think this is the second best song. I knew this was gonna be my favorite, and it still is to this day. It's just so energetic. It's so playful. Maybe if I wasn't if I wasn't wearing rose-tinted glasses, maybe it would like tonally clash with The Trap and Misery Fell. I don't remember, but Turn the Lights Off, man. I don't know. Like, I also feel it doesn't like completely fit with the theme, but it's just so fun. It's like, who cares? I don't care. Now here we are now in a weird zone because I don't really remember these next 4 songs. Right, with the others, I have a decent idea. I think after Turn the Lights Off, I kind of check out, and maybe that's a problem when you have such a good song that everything else is just like meh by comparison. But I don't know. I like if you asked me to tell you anything about these next 4 songs, I could not tell you anything. I'm sure I heard them, but I just don't remember them. So let's go play Misery Fell. I have mixed feelings about this song, man. I really liked it, but it's like, should I fault it for me not remembering it? Is that me problem, or is that a song's problem? Like, it's good, but is it like the kind of good that it's like you will remember it, or is it like kind of an average good where it's like you like it in the moment and then you kind of forget about it? I don't know. I like Misery Fell. I listen to it. I really like some of the things they do. I like the sort of it's not choir, but it's like some of them are singing together. I like how it really looped around. I really like the Renaissance theme. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just crazy, but like, is that the intention? Did they intend to have such like medieval-ish vibes? That's really what I'm getting from this entire album. Like the first few songs, it's like doesn't fit, but then like after Cannibal, starting with Cannibal, that's when you really get that vibe. I think Misery Fell, and I hate to say the word mediocrity, but in terms of Tally Hall songs, it's okay. Okay Tally Hall song, in my opinion, is still better than some other songs. It's higher than average, but it's okay. I like it. I tolerate it. I like it. It's catchy. But, and like I'm making it sound so negative. Like I like it above The Trap. I'm gonna put it there. But it's like, is it S tier? I don't think so. Honestly, I'm gonna put it below The Trap, actually. Man, if you are a fan of Misery Fell, I'm so sorry. Like, I think this one has a significant amount of love, but like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the other songs do it better. This one, oh man. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put it there. I'm really sorry. Something about it was like, I feel like what I thought him for a Scarecrow was gonna be is what Misery Fell ended up being, right? There's just some things that I don't know how to explain, but it makes me realize, okay, maybe the reason why I don't remember these 4 songs is maybe because Misery Fell was like, you finished Turn the Lights Off, which is, not including the lady, like out of these 10 songs is the best, and then you follow Misery Fell, which out of the 10 is the lowest of the 10. Now remember, it's still 8.5 out of 10, right? Maybe even a 9, but like, I don't know. I feel like there might be a reason why I fall asleep. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I still like it though, but yeah. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. This song didn't do that much for me, if I'm being honest. Like to me, it screamed like the album is ending. Let's have a filler song before the last 2 songs. I mean, it was catchy, which is what you expect from Tally Hall. But it's like, it's not that memorable. Like, now I'm beginning to realize why why I just don't remember. Like, I feel like Misery Fell, the punch after Turn the Lights Off, and then you have Misery Fell, and then you have this. It's like, that's why my memories are not that good, right? I feel like it could equate to me being forgetful and me having a low attention span, but it could also just be because these songs are less than ideal for Tally Hall. Like, oh my gosh. Again, this is in a vacuum. A C is still like a 7 out of 10, but like, man, oh man, I want to put in C. Like, honestly, I might move a lady down. Nah, I'm gonna keep a lady. I like a lady more than Out in the Twilight. Like it didn't do it. Like it felt very monotone and robotic, and it's just like a filler song. Like, hey, the album's ending, whatever. I'm kind of sad. Like I think it's catchy. It has good things about it, but compared to the rest of it, I'm sorry, I got nothing from it. Oh man, oh man. Okay, I think the difference with MMMM is that it had a strong start, the middle was, it's still great, and then the ending was great. So it's like the only weak part is maybe in the middle, but it's not that weak. It's only like 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Here, on the other hand, kind of faltered. So we're gonna listen to the last two songs. I have my hopes up. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that these last two songs have just like hurt my memories of these last two, and hopefully these last two impress me. So let's see what happens. Okay, so that was Horowitz's song, and I can't tell if it's just a sour taste in my mouth right now. It's okay. I enjoyed it. I think it is better than some of the other songs, but you know what? I don't know. I liked it. It was very simple, which, obviously with Tally Hall you expect more complex. I think at this point, you could tell the band was starting to crack a little bit. I feel like this could have very easily gone on like a solo album, not really a Tally Hall album. Maybe like obligatory, we gotta put this there. It's okay. It's very... I like the part where his voice got more high-pitched, but it's like... Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna give it high B. Better than... No, honestly, I'm gonna put it under a lady. I think it's still B. It's alright. It's very alright. It's very average for a Tally Hall song, man. Like, A Whole World in You, and I'm comparing the Horowitz songs that are both at the very end of the album. Very strong. One is very strong. This one is just very simple. Like, I feel like it's not go out with a bang, go out with a whimper. Like, say what you... I know I said bad things about Hidden in the Sand, but, like, Ruler of Everything, Hidden in the Sand, it's a great ending. But here, like, this just did not work for me. Okay, let me specify, as well as it should have. I don't know, honestly, maybe I'm being too nice, just because I'm in a good mood because of the first 7 songs, but, like, dude, Turn the Lights Off by being so good might have honestly hurt the rest of these songs. We have one song left, Fate of the Stars. At this point, I'm fully asleep when I usually listen to this, so I have no idea what this is. Let's see what happens. Last song. Okay, wow, okay, that was a lot longer than I was expecting. 7 minutes, almost. And I have a lot to say about the song. It sounds very Pink Floyd-y. I feel like that's sort of the inspiration. It's called Fate of the Stars, Dark Side of the Moon, maybe. I did like a lot of the parts of it. It's hard to explain because it was so long. 7 whole minutes. I feel like if someone were to look at this and call Tally pretentious, I kind of get it. I feel like, especially because this is like their last song, canonically, of their 2 albums. On that note, I don't think they're pretentious. I think, like, some of the stylistic choices were definitely, like, a little more pompous than they needed to be, and I feel like I kind of get these criticisms now. On the other hand, I do really think that it both satisfied me. It was a satisfying way to end the album, but it's kind of disappointing. I feel like, for such a strong start, they really fumbled the football at the end, and that just makes me really sad. Now, the more I think about it, Turn the Lights Off feels very out of place in the second half, just because, and honestly for the whole album, just because it feels more serious and somber than MMMM, and then Turn the Lights Off is just very energetic and hyper. Anyway, that's enough talking about Turning the Lights Off. That's Turning the Lights Off, Turn the Lights Off. That's enough about that. I think, the ambient music is just very operatic and weird, and it just makes me realize, is this sort of a prequel to Hawaii Part 2, to Miracle Musical? It feels more in place in that album. Maybe this was like their gears were turning. Maybe this is like, the way to set that up, right? Oh, there's more. You like that sound? We got more for that. I don't know. I think Fate of the Stars it gives me vibes of, like, finality. Like, in hindsight, yeah, this was their final song on their final album, but, like, not in a way that's too, like, grand finale is esque. Like I feel like if they had a third album, if they had a trilogy of albums, then maybe this would be a bit more beloved. But because they don't, and I'm not counting Hawaii Part 2 in this. I mean Tally Hall albums. It's all right. It's very somber, and I feel like what you look for in a finale song is just one way to wrap everything up, and I feel like it did an okay job, but it definitely could have been better. I'm gonna put it above Misery Fell. No, honestly, I'm gonna put it under Misery Fell. It's still, man, it's still A tier, but it's like, man, oh man, this ending, I don't know if it just bummed me out, but it was not as strong as the beginning. It's still like great songs, but what you're looking for in Tally Hall, I feel like the standards are just so high that it's just the ending just can't compete. I'm wondering if it was reversed, the order was reversed, the second half was the first half, and the first half was the second half, would I have these same feelings? Honestly, I don't know. I feel like, what if Hymn for a Scarecrow was the finale instead of Faded Stars? Would I be more satisfied? Would I feel like, you know what, it started off okay and then it got so much better? I don't know, man. I'm not an expert at music, I'm just a guy that listens to it. So, thank you all for listening. I am very sorry if you enjoyed the last couple of songs, because I have a lot of mixed feelings to go around. Now, before we end this video, I want to address something about Banana Man, because last time I put it in C. Now, I will put it in S. Low S, of course, but still S. So, there you go. I'm just adding Banana Man just because that's probably the one that changed the most for me. At first, I was like, it's one of the weaker songs of MMM. I disagree. I think it now goes S tier. Low S tier, but S tier nonetheless. I love Banana Man. So do you. It's so goofy. It's so fun. It's so memorable. And, oh man, yeah, this album definitely, I feel like it achieved its goals at being more sad, more serious, and less goofy. But, I don't know, man. That's not what I look for in Tally Hall, and it's weird to say that because Tally Hall has 2 albums, so you either get what you want or not really what you want. I feel like there is a unique camp of people who like both of them, and I certainly do like both of them, but I will, yeah, no, as I said, I went into this with MMMM as my favorite, and I will go out with the exact same opinion. So, thank you all for watching. I love Tally Hall. And hopefully I gave you some insight. Please leave comments down below stating your opinions. Please don't hate me for some of this. Remember, I'm really bad at the music. I have no credibility here. I just like what sounds good. So thanks for watching.